I think the police did what they were supposed to do. They came in, they came through the door, they arrested him. He's bonded out since. The problem that I have is that there's this thing that we're dealing with right now that's called mental issue.
There's this rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul, if you guys haven't seen, Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen.
You know, it already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. But now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh, no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yes, the history was already there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit.
Yes.
She probably saw that he signed the Jake Paul fight.
Shannon Sharpe didn't mince words following Gervonta Tank Davis's arrest. He passionately emphasized that the real focus should be on the victim, someone who deserves care, support, and justice. Sharpe criticized those dismissing the incident as merely a mental issue, insisting that doing so minimizes the pain inflicted on others. He called for accountability over sympathy and declared that Tank's reckless actions have effectively destroyed his own career.
Protector is the abuser. You lose a sense of protection of what you think a protector should do, because nah, you're supposed to protect me from this. If someone is trying to do this to me, you're supposed to jump in and be my superhero. You're not supposed to commit.
Jake Paul erupted on X after learning about Gervonta Davis's latest legal troubles. His post expressed anger and deep frustration over what he described as Davis's consistent unprofessional conduct. Jake wrote, "Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare, from bizarre demands to showing up hours late, endless arrests, and lawsuits. Supporting him means supporting the worst sin a man can commit." He continued, expressing remorse toward his team, undercard fighters, and the women affected, writing that MVP stands for women's empowerment and that he regrets ever giving Davis a platform. Jake concluded by urging fans to look beyond fake street style and find something deeper to admire. His fiery post exploded across social media, dividing opinions between fans and analysts. Many supported his stance, while others accused him of overreacting. With the fight now uncertain, Jake's camp immediately began scouting for a new opponent to salvage the Netflix event. Reports claimed that former UFC champion Francis Ngannou briefly emerged as an option, but Ngannou dismissed the idea outright. He labeled such a match disrespectful to his professional career, stating he seeks elite-level boxing challenges, not entertainment-driven bouts.
Gervonta Davis, we had to go right to the source. What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such a thing happening. Basically, like, how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense. You know, the Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different can level up. But at this point, for me to...
Francis Ngannou later clarified his position, condemning rumors linking him to Jake Paul. He said he'd never entertain a fight that felt like a publicity stunt. After facing top-tier boxers like Tyson Fury, Ngannou said fighting a YouTuber-turned-boxer would insult his skill and credibility. He urged fighters to respect the craft and not turn combat sports into a circus for clicks. Fans praised Ngannou's honesty and professionalism, agreeing that a Paul and Ngannou matchup would have made little competitive or financial sense.
No, and say, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. I'm like, no, bro, come on, I mean, don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like, they even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It makes no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested?
The fight made no sense. That's what I think. That's my position. And though I went back, I saw.
With Gervonta Davis out, Jake Paul now faces a huge challenge finding a credible replacement. Ryan Garcia's name briefly surfaced, but complications quickly killed that idea. Garcia is locked under Golden Boy Promotions, while Jake operates under his own MVP label with Netflix. The conflicting broadcast and promotional contracts make the matchup nearly impossible. Moreover, Garcia's team reportedly has no interest in joining a Netflix event. Jake's team remains determined to find a major name to keep fan interest alive, but options are limited and negotiations are increasingly complex.
That is the route they're going. Then it kind of dissuades what I thought may happen, which was this rumor of Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia fighting on Netflix to replace Gervonta Davis. Jake Paul, if you guys haven't seen, Gervonta Davis and another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know. And the rumor was one of the replacements was talked about and even offered to Ryan Garcia. Well, here is Ryan Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, speaking on that rumor and what's next for Ryan.
It's happy Saturday, so I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Vergil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me, who he's fighting, and when he's fighting next. See you guys.
It always seems like when Oscar decides to address something with Ryan Garcia, that he's not only addressing us, the people, that he's addressing Ryan Garcia. He's like, through us, telling Ryan, no, you're not fighting Jake Paul, no matter how much you want to fight. That's what it seems like, is like, no matter how much you want to fight Jake Paul, you're not fighting. I don't even think that was meant for us. I think that was him telling Ryan. And you even hear it there, he's like, oh, Ryan's going to say, I'm keeping him from making money or whatever. But in this case, Oscar is right. If Ryan is signed to Golden Boy and Golden Boy is exclusively signed to DAZN for, fight rights, then Ryan has to fight on DAZN. I think that's pretty reasonable for Oscar. I didn't know that Golden Boy was exclusive to DAZN. I didn't know that was a thing. But if that is the...
On the Ariel Helwani show, analysts discussed the massive fallout from Davis's latest lawsuit. The case, coming just 2 months after another, painted a pattern of behavior that has severely tarnished Davis's image. Ariel and his panel noted that Netflix is now hesitant to proceed with the fight, not wanting to associate its debut boxing event with a fighter entangled in multiple legal controversies. With time running out, Jake Paul's team must act fast to secure a replacement or risk the entire event being scrapped.
Aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Lawsuit comes 2 months after Davis's previous domestic violence case was dropped by a different ex-girlfriend and the mother of 2 of the boxer's 3 children. I just think MVP is in the business of being the home of women, right? At this point, that's a huge part of their identity. What is their identity? It's Jake Paul and women's boxing. That's their identity right now. And they've done a phenomenal job for the women. And so how, with these allegations lingering and now coming to light 2 weeks before, how can you go through with it? And it sounds like they feel the same way. It's an impossible spot to be in.
The only part I'd say is, you kind of know who this guy is ahead of time. This is not exactly a shocking revelation like Tank Davis is. This is not the first rodeo. But I do think it's too close to the fight to really be, messing around here. You got to figure out a new solution.
And so there's been multiple reports regarding people that they've reached out to. Names like Ryan Garcia have been brought up. Terrence Crawford has been brought up. Francis Ngannou has been brought up. And Francis Ngannou spoke to TMZ today, and he did confirm that he was contacted, and the quote was, "How can they go from Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? It makes no sense." He was like, quote, "We think about you to fight Jake." I'm like, what? Which Jake? Bro, come on, don't disrespect me like that.
What the fuck is that?
That might have been the most timely "what the F is that" of all time. What do you guys think about that stance from Francis? Because actually, there's a part of me that thinks, take the fight, you knock him out, you'll be like 65 pounds bigger than him, and it's a nice little feather in your cap.
I think that was a great backup solution. I think Francis versus Jake is a great fight.
If it goes all according to
too.
plan, like he should theoretically get paid a bunch of money, knock out Jake Paul, and make off like a bandit. There is always the world where it goes awry. If he were to drop the fight to Jake Paul, that would
Right, but I mean, you could literally say that about any fight. Are you just saying that the risk is greater than the reward?
I don't think so.
In my eyes, losing to Jake Paul is...
Chael Sonnen weighed in, arguing that Jake Paul's reaction was exaggerated. He reminded viewers that Davis hasn't been found guilty of anything yet and that boxing has long seen fighters with legal issues still compete. Sonnen accused Jake of using the controversy as an excuse to back out of a dangerous matchup. His remarks sparked heated debate. Some agreed that the fight should continue until proven otherwise, while others praised Jake and Netflix for prioritizing reputation and safety.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I have an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched them weigh in, I want to say it was like 8.
Boxer Rolando "Rolly" Romero seized the opportunity, publicly volunteering to replace Davis. He announced online that he'd be ready in a week to face Jake Paul, boldly claiming he could knock Jake out cold. His challenge quickly caught fire online, with fans debating whether it would be a fair matchup. Known for his explosive power and outspoken personality, Rolly's offer injected new excitement into the conversation and kept fans guessing about who Jake's next opponent might be.
Man, I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. Bro. Jake Paul gets knocked.
Analysts from various boxing shows accused Jake Paul of hypocrisy. They pointed out that Davis's case is civil, not criminal, meaning he isn't legally guilty, and reminded audiences that Jake himself has faced past allegations from a former girlfriend. Critics argued that Jake shouldn't act morally superior given his own controversies. Many began suspecting Jake's real motivation for canceling the fight was public relations, not ethics.
if I thought he did it twice and we forgave him for that and you got better, you seek help and etc., I can, you know what I mean, I forgive him for it.
Bruh.
How you know Jake Paul didn't know that?
Jake Paul knew.
Jake Paul 100% knew.
September 19th, 2017, arrest warrant, first degree assault. September 14th, 2018, arrested in Washington, D.C. February 1st, 2020, Davis arrested on domestic assault. March 22nd, 2021, indicted on 14 counts allegedly causing a serious crash. December 27th, 2022, days before a fight, arrested and jailed in Florida, domestic battery. July 11th, 25, taken into custody following a battery charge. October 31st, 25, Davis was involved in a civil fight with his girlfriend. Shut up, Jake Paul. You knew what you was doing.
He does not get this excuse whatsoever. Also, whenever you look at what Jake Paul has done since coming into the sport of boxing, he has been a champion for women in the sport. He has also been a champion of equal fighter pay and whatnot, right? And all of these different things that he's done. He's gone to Dana White directly for trying to abolish the Muhammad Ali Act that helps out fighters get. You know, he's gone to so many different people. He's an extremely knowledgeable person whenever it comes to the sport that he's hyper obsessed with, and turned his career from a Disney star and a YouTuber into a boxer. He knew about these issues already. Correct. He knew that this was a farcical fight in the first place. Yeah. This is a 7-weight class difference in real boxing. No, absolutely not. It should not have been a fight that was happening in the first place. But even then, after all of these things going on right now, Jake Paul to sit there and act as if you are all high and mighty, and that I don't want to give this dude a platform to earn money. You were more than happy doing it. And
former world champion Paulie Malignaggi also slammed Jake Paul, calling his behavior fake morality. He said Jake knew about Davis's past before signing the contract, so backing out now and pretending to take a moral stand is inconsistent. Paulie argued Jake is trying to control the narrative and protect his image rather than admit he's avoiding a risky opponent. He concluded that a true professional either commits to the fight or never signs it, not conveniently withdraw when public opinion shifts.
I don't know, it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. He had already had this history. He's trying to be better, and this is something that had already happened in the past, right? I mean, this was already known when they signed.
Yeah, he wasn't arrested.
He did this prior to this being signed, so you already knew this happened. It was regurgitated as a civil suit, but it was already something that everybody knew had happened in the past. So it's not like something new happened after he signed the fight. So that's what I don't understand, and that's why I don't want to see that. You know, I don't want to see that the kids still lose out on it that way for that reason. Because I don't know, to me it doesn't add up. You know, it already happened. You knew it happened, and you made the fight anyway. So now, based on something you already knew happened, now you're just saying, oh no, because this happened, we're not going to do the fight. But you knew already in the first place.
Yes, the history was already there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And for this particular situation, by the way, mind you, the girl now is coming with a civil suit. Yes. She probably saw that he signed the.
That wraps up today's coverage. The fallout from Gervonta Davis's arrest has left shockwaves through boxing, affecting reputations, business deals, and the future of Netflix's Big Fight Night. Stay tuned for more updates as Jake Paul searches for a new opponent and the sport continues to wrestle with the line between entertainment and accountability.